Sawchuk averaged 8.5 yards a carry. Tyree Walker averaged 7.4 yards a carry. And Dylan threw the ball 16 more times than them boys got the opportunity to run. Jeffrey Livingston, that is your problem. That is on you, Jeffrey Livingston. What up, baby? It's your boy, the ATX Sooner, back with another video. And as you can see, I got the Unity colorway on right now, because I feel like that's exactly what we need right now, as the Oklahoma community. I feel like we need to stick together. We need to battle through these hard times, because they may not be as hard as you seem, or as hard as they seem to be. They really might not be. But today I'm breaking down the Bedlam game, the disappointing loss that we had. We battled ourselves, we battled a tough Oklahoma State team, and we battled the Big 12 referees too. I'm not gonna lie, but we ain't gonna put it there. That's gonna be the last thing we talk about today. We gonna talk about how we beat ourselves, and I'll bring up some good things, some good points, some good valid things that we did on Saturday. But then again, we can go back and look at revise and revision on the negative, and this is my second time making this video. I tried making it on Sunday, but my phone freaking died in the middle of it, and if you don't know, I use my phone for recording purposes. But either way it goes, let's talk about it. So Saturday I saw a pretty sketchy team, a team that seems to lack identity. I saw a defense that really stepped up to the plate. I would say they answered all the questions that you would have wanted them to answer. Our secondary had some issues. That's one of the things that kind of disappointed me the most, because I tried to say that in the preview video. I said it, and it's like, if I could see these things, then I know that the coaching staff can see these things. I know that the players are smart enough to understand these things. But yeah, let's break it down. So let's start with the defense, and this is how you know it's bad, because I got notes. So we getting into it today, baby. All right, so let's start with some positives, okay? I like to end my videos off positive, so let's start off with some positives today. First things first, that run defense, I would say it's a touch under amazing. Whatever that may be, that could be great. That whatever you rank your positive words as, I would say that run defense was a touch under amazing. Now, that front seven looked really good. I was expecting y'all to dominate that game, and although the running back did get over 100 yards, you can't really contain that man. That man is going to get his, and we all understand he's going to get his. But the way we forced them to put the ball in the air because they knew that they couldn't run the ball, I commend you. I feel like y'all stepped up to the plate, that front seven. We didn't, here and there. And then, okay, let me say this too, okay? I did not see the first drive. When I cut the game on, it was 7-0 Oklahoma State. So I was already, I came into the game like, shit. Okay? So, but from what I saw, at least, from my point of view, that defense did everything you could have asked them to do. Everything but defend the RPO. Like we expected Oklahoma State to come out and show the RPO, because if I told you, Mike Gundy's not a dumb guy. If we know that he's expecting us to defend the run, then why would he not pass it? And for the defensive staff not to have those cornerbacks or that secondary ready for that, and they got away with a lot of chippy stuff, don't get me wrong, but we did too, here and there. Maybe not as much, but we did get away with some stuff, barely. But either way it goes, that secondary, it was your job to do your job, to stay disciplined, we didn't want to see one man go off. And the fact that one man went off the whole game, I thought it was Terrell Owens out there that they were throwing to. But the fact that he can go off all game long lets you know that we didn't make any adjustments when it came to worrying about him. Maybe BV felt that he's not going to win the game for them. Don't forget about that running back in the backfield, because Terrell Owens ain't going to win the game for them. Little did he know. Which I ain't going to say he won the game for him, because I don't think that the offense won that game. I think that our offense lost that game, unfortunately. But run defense, touch under amazing. I mean, when you really break down the time of possession, right? They had they had for like 37 minutes. Okay? One, that is a half a quarter longer than what our defense is used to being on the field. So when you expect your defense to play an extra half of a quarter, you're gonna get drained. You're gonna get tired. You're gonna slow down. You're gonna start missing tackles. That's what happens whenever you get drained and when you get tired. And I know we work hard on that all spring, all summer. You know, we get our conditioning up. But at the end of the year like this, all that shit is kind of out the window, and it's all about health. It's all about, you know, your body. It's tough to keep that. It's tough to maintain that wind in your body at the end of the year after you done got beat up all year long. You know, it's tough, you know. So expecting that defense to go on that field for an extra half of a quarter is unfair to really put that on them, because we all know why they were on the field for so long. If you look at it, they had 3 touchdowns the whole game. You had the ball for 36 minutes, and you can only score 21 points. That is, like I said, a touch under amazing for our defense. A round of applause. Held you to 2 field goals, both field goals inside the 40. Round of applause. That means that you took two field goals or 2 touchdowns off of the field with those field goals alone. You know, so bravo defense. And then we haven't even talked about the fourth down stands. Bravo defense. I mean, that is how we expect you to. That's a winning team. That defense played like a winning team on Saturday, and I can't knock them. I applaud the defense. Y'all did a great job. Unfortunately, I wish I had an offense that could back y'all up, but damn it, y'all aren't the problem. Y'all did a great job, and our young players stood out and showed us that we're going to be all right next year when it comes to defense. Even better, actually. Now, let's go to this offense. We're going to get to some negative things now, okay, with Jeffrey's offense, okay? And by the way, his name's not Jeff Lebby anymore. I don't want to hear y'all call him Jeff Lebby. His name is Jeffrey Levingston, okay? So Jeffrey Levingston's offense was lackluster, to say the least. Let's start off with the turnovers. You can't blame that on Jeffrey. Not gonna lie. That's not Jeffrey Levingston's fault. You can't. He's not on the field to take care of the ball. But you can look at him in a way, looking at him like, okay, one of those turnovers was him being too cute. Instead of us having an identity, having a straightforward offense that we know what we can do right, he always wants to do the cute shit. He always wants to dress up, put the makeup on, and that's not Oklahoma football, man. That's not Oklahoma, Jeffrey Levingston. That's not Oklahoma. Dylan Gabriel, he had a great game, or he had a good game, man. But some of those throws, some of those looks, man, you're looking at your first read, and if your first read's not there, you kind of blank out, you know. And then to just throw it deep, just throw it no matter, I could tell by that coverage, the man was double covered. To throw it deep, you thought that, fuck it, he's down there somewhere. You know the meme, fuck it, he's down there somewhere. That's not good quarterback play right there, Dylan. That's not how you do it. I ain't going to say you're the problem either, though, but I will say that that's not a good look. That is not how you're supposed to play the game of football. You are supposed to you're our decision maker. And for our decision maker not to make good decisions, for our decision maker to go 4 rushes for -7 yards, knowing that instead of throwing the ball, you have green grass all in front of you all game long. I'm looking at it like run, run, and you forgot how to run. You forgot that's decision making, DG. And like I said, you're not the problem on this team. You're not the problem on this offense. Quarterbacks are going to have bad games here and there. You didn't have necessarily a bad game, but I think that you weren't put in a position to have your best game. And then I also think that your decision making was not good enough to win the game. We could have lost to damn near anybody with that decision making, don't get me wrong. Because we still would have had, with that decision making, we still would have had the turnovers. Because you can't, and then on top of that, on top of just throwing the ball down the field without paying attention to the coverage, on top of not taking advantage of your feet, knowing that that is one of the better parts of your game. This is what pro scouts are looking at. They're looking at, because they're wondering, can he play pro? Can he do this? And whenever I'm looking at you on the field and I see that you have nothing but green grass in front of you, and you can get out of the pocket. Don't get me wrong. This ain't like I'm not seeing something that's impossible for you to do. Everything that I'm saying could have happened. You could have gotten out of that pocket plenty of times to get at least a first down. If not a first down, 5 yards and more. That's bad decision making. And these pro scouts are looking at that. Can this guy play the game? Is this a complete quarterback? And I say you are. But this game knocks you down a little bit when it came to that. But as I said, DG, might sound harsh, man, but you're not the issue. You're not the problem here. You had a good game, even though the decision making wasn't all the way there. You had a great game, or a good game, I'm sorry. And man, them deep balls, bro, you got to get them out earlier, man. You can't make that throw. I'm sorry. We've all seen this. Farouk has shown you. The Texas dude that came, he's shown you. Like, these guys got speed for real. And if you're gonna launch it down the field, and they're open, good throws. I'm not gonna lie, good decision making on those deep throws that I saw you chunk up in the air. But man, you gotta know your limits. You gotta know your capability, and you gotta know that you don't have the arm to wait to take a freaking 5 to 7 step drop damn near, scoot up in the pocket 2 more steps, and then chunk it up. No, you got to get that shit out. You got to get that shit out so you can hit them in the stride, brother. But like I said, man, you're not the problem. You didn't make good decisions. You were off on your timing here and there, but you can't expect a quarterback to be perfect 100% of the time. And this whole Jackson Arnold thing, man, stop it, guys. Stop it. And I'll get into that later, too, because you're contradicting yourself every time you say this. But Sawchuk and Walker, man. This is so disappointing, man, to just look at these stats and look at the game and to really see where we could have done so much more better, and to know whose fault it is. Jeffrey Livingston. This is a Jeffrey Livingston issue here. Okay, with this stat. Listen to this. Let's start with Sawchuk. And we know Sawchuk is our second string running back. Or he should be. It seems like we may be the only ones, us as a community and as a fan base, seem to be the only ones that understand this running back order. But we know that Sawchuk is our second string running back, and he should be. This man averaged 8.5 yards. Am I right? 8.5 yards a carry. Yeah, I heard he broke one. I know he broke one. The man averaged 8.5 yards a carry. Tyree Walker. Like I said, he might only been our backup this game because he might not have been able to participate in practice over the week or whatnot. You don't practice, you don't play. We get it. It is what it is. With a bum ankle, this man averaged 7.4 yards a freaking carry. And he didn't break none, I don't think. I don't remember seeing him break a run. That's just being a grown man out there. Sawchuk averaged 8.5 yards a carry. Tyree Walker averaged 7.4 yards a carry. And Dillon threw the ball 16 more times than them boys got the opportunity to run. Jeffrey Livingston, that is your problem. That is on you, Jeffrey Livingston. These things don't make sense. They don't add up. They don't I'm not in the fire Jeffrey corner. Now, I'm not in that corner. So if you're mad at me for that, you're gonna have to stay mad at me for that. It is what it is. But Jeffrey, man, us as an Oklahoma community are just begging you to have a balanced offense. We're begging you, can we please have a balanced offense? That is what Oklahoma is known for. We can run the ball. We can throw the ball. We can do whatever the fuck we want to do against you guys. Whoever you are, it don't matter. That is Oklahoma's identity. And because of your lackluster offense, Jeffrey Livingston, that is taking away from our identity. The fact that you move the ball so quickly, yes, I understand the positives of the quick offense. Cool, whatever the case may be. But whenever that conflicts with the identity of our offense, that's a problem. How does that conflict with the identity of our offense? Why? How you say that, ATH? How does that make any sense? All right. In order to have an identity, you got to have consistency. And you can't have consistency if you're continuously changing, rotating out players. I get it. We got a lot of that. We got a lot of depth. Everybody deserves. If you had a good practice, you might deserve to play. I get it on the wide receivers, and wide receivers are running down 50 yards and not getting the ball. They got to come out. They got to switch out here and there. But when you got offensive linemen, we got running backs swapping out like wide receivers, there's no consistency in that offense. We don't know who our guys are because we have too many of them. And you know what they say about having too many guys. That means you don't have anybody. If your offense could just turn the pitch down, if you could just slow the fuck down, Mr. Jeffrey Livingston, we can establish an identity to our offense. Because we won't have to trade out. We can have a primary running back. And then a guy behind him that can just take him out if he needs a breather every once in a while. But you can't have a primary running back whenever you're freaking running the ball or snapping the ball. When you have a whole first through fourth down period in 30 seconds, it's hard to keep those guys on the field. And guess what that also affects? That also affects our defense. Going back to the whole time of possession and our defense being on the field the extra half quarter than they're used to being on the field this whole year. You see the issue? You see the reason? You see what we're saying? And going back to me saying I'm not the fire Jeffrey Livingston guy. I'm not that guy because I believe that his offense has so much potential. I can see it. I get it. I get what he's trying to do. I understand where you're trying to go. And I also understand that you're doing this on your own anymore. You don't have Lane Kiffin in the back of your head to tell you what's right and what's wrong. So I get all of these things. But I'm telling you, man, if you could just slow your roll, we can establish some identity. We can have some consistency on who's out there on the field. And we can establish balance. Because when you throw the ball first through third down, incomplete every time, to punt it on fourth down, guess what? Your defense that just made a fourth down stop is right back on the field against a running team that's going to pound the rock and take advantage of the time that they have. Jeffrey Livingston, please I feel like it's a simple fix. Please slow down your offense. Just turn it down a bit. You have everything you need. You have the weapons. You have the play calls. I believe in this offense. I really do. Just dial it down a little bit. You don't have to break records. You're trying. I feel like you're trying to break speed records or something. Chill. Just chill out, brother. We don't need that. We need identity before we need speed. You understand me? If you watching Need for Speed, motherfucking Dom established himself as Dom before he needed the need for speed, goddammit. I don't know. I don't know. We have to establish identity for this offense, balance for this offense. That way that you have to look at it like a team. You're not playing team ball, Jeffrey Livingston. You're focused on yourself. And when I say you're focused on yourself, you're only worried about the offense. And you don't care if the defense was just on the field for 4 minutes in the game too. We're not talking about 4 minutes actually. We're talking about 4 minutes of game time. You don't care. You'll let our offense literally take 30 seconds off the clock and punt the ball back just so our defense can be out there for another 4 minutes. It doesn't make sense, Jeffrey Livingston, and we got to get that figured out. And now we go to the biggest issue of them all, coaching. And I know I sound like I've been at coaching, so technically we've been at coaching. The biggest issue of them all we know is Jeffrey Livingston. I don't think it's as big of an issue as the Oklahoma community is making it to be, but it's a huge issue that we got to get better at. He needs to get better at. But let's see, I talked about us not having a balanced offense. I talked about the time of possession, the cute plays. Stop it. Stop the cute plays. It's cool when you do it once you drive to score a touchdown. That's fine. But whenever you do it, every first down, every time the freaking chains reset, if you put a damn trick play in there, a cute little play in there, it's not happening. Because guess what? When you run enough cute plays, they don't become cute anymore because people are waiting for it. You're too predictable. And I get the speed of the offense is to not be predictable. So that's letting you know that the speed of the offense does not need to be as fast because it's not working anyways. It's not working, Jeffrey Livingston. So please, okay? Now, coaching and players when it comes to penalties, we got to get better, man. We got to get better as a team, as a squad. We have to get better at that. There's no reason why we should have double the penalties for double the yards. And this is not the first time this has happened. This is an ongoing issue that lacks discipline. And we are supposed to be a very disciplined team. But let the stats show it. Let the penalty yards show it. We're not. And even our coaching staff is not as disciplined as they seem to be either. You are who you are. Your identity as a team is the head coach. So when your head coach is out there getting 15-yard penalties twice, 2 weeks in a row, and even if it's not him, it's somebody on the coaching staff that he hired, getting penalties from the sideline, hurting the on-field play. You are hurting the on-field play. And yeah, we get it. Okay, Mike Gundy can run to the middle of the freaking field and do jumping jacks and 3 cartwheels and not get a damn flag. It is what it is, man. We're leaving the Big 12. We can't expect any fairness to happen with us in the referees in the Big 12. We came into the year knowing that. The freaking commissioner of the Big 12 came into this year telling us that we are going to get fucked. Us and UT, they straight up told us we are going to get fucked this year. If we allow the game to be decided by the refs, you best believe that Oklahoma is getting fucked at the end of the day. It is what it is, and we can complain about it, complain, but we are good enough of a team not to put the refs in position to have that power. We should be able to play the refs and the extra team that we're going on the field against because we're so dominant that it don't matter what they call. And man, coaching, timeouts, BV. This is all on you. This is nobody else. This is a Brett Venables issue. We need, and I understand, this is only his second year being a head coach. Give him, I'll be lenient. I'll turn it down. I'm telling Jeff to turn it down. I'll turn it down a little bit because it's your second year being a head coach. It's your second year learning to manage these timeouts. But this is also the second week in a row that you called a pretty dumb timeout, BV. And I love you. Don't get me wrong. I believe in you. I know you're the guy. But you got to get that figured out, man. You got to, just like these players, they got to play football and they got to pass. They got to go to school, they got to play football, and they got to deal with home life outside of this, outside of the Oklahoma anything. You got to do better at that, BV. You have to study on when is the best times to take timeouts. And you don't take a timeout to kick a field goal, and you damn sure don't take a timeout to punt the ball. These are things that should be ready. These are things that should be established. These are things that should be talked about. If we're going to go for it on fourth down, then we need to know that we're going for it on fourth down. If we're going to punt the ball on fourth down, we need to know that we're going to punt the ball on fourth down. If we're going to kick a field goal on fourth down, we need to know that we're going to kick a field goal on fourth down. And that's on you, BV. Y'all, you have to establish, you have to go into it knowing what you're going to do on third down. On third down, you should automatically know what you're doing on fourth down. And if you get it, you can take your time and figure out what you're doing on that next reset play on first down. But at least know what you're doing on fourth down. That way you don't have to take these dumbass timeouts that make no sense to nobody. I mean, I know they don't even make sense to you. I know if you're an accountable man, I know that that's not an issue. You're being accountable and you're taking the blame for all these things. And don't get me wrong, you're not the problem. But being the head coach, we saw Lincoln Riley just fire his problem. And I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying that we should fire Jeffrey Livingston. But he needs to figure it out. He needs to and there's nothing to really figure out. He just needs to slow the fuck down. Calm the fuck down. Slow down. That's it. Now, I'm going into 30 minutes on this video, so this will be my last thing right here, man. And I kind of previewed it a little bit so you know how I feel about it. But the referees, I saw a pass interference on Nick Anderson where the play could have been a pickoff when it comes to getting Drake Stoops open, but he ran that so well that they literally, you can't tell who is the problem. You can't say that he intentionally picked them off. And you can't say that the defender intentionally ran into him to make that collision. That should have been a no call. That should have been a no call. And I'm not going to break down everything that the ref should have been. These are just things that highlighted and to me affected the game. That was like a third down play or a fourth down play. Should have been a no call. And, man, obviously, man, Drake Stoops in the end zone, tackled before. Look at my Twitter header. That's exactly what it was. The ball is still in the air and the man's getting tackled. Now, I know that they said they was going to fuck us. But, damn, I didn't know it was going to be like that. That was like 2 middle fingers in the face, kick you in the bars, and tell your ass to turn around and go home. That's how bad that was. That was just a blatant, terrible, and you can't even, it was so bad that you can't call it a missed call, because you saw it. It was in your face. Everybody saw it. The stadium saw it. The world saw it. The announcers saw it. The commentators saw it. Like, just blatant disrespect, man. But that's why you can't leave it in the ref's hands, especially when you're good enough not to do so. But Oklahoma beat Oklahoma this game. Shout out Oklahoma State. Y'all still a little bros, but y'all did show up to play. Y'all showed up to win, and y'all wanted it more. At the end of the day, y'all wanted it more. Like y'all typically do. Y'all typically want this game more than we do, you know. Even though we're just usually a better team, and we are a better team still to this day. We beat ourselves. It's hard to play yourself the opposite team and the referees at the same time, man. But yeah, this is a 30-minute video. Just a little. I really wanted to get detailed on this breakdown, this Bedlam, because man, it was good and bad, and a lot of bad in there. Let's put it that way. But I'm gonna end it off on positivity, man. I got the Unity colors on for a reason. We are a 2-loss team right now, Oklahoma. Last year, we lost 7 games. You got to remember that. What were your expectations coming into this year? You can't sit here and tell me that you expected us to win the Big 12 or even be in the picture. I didn't. I didn't expect that, and I expected to have more than 2 losses at this time also. So, if I'm being honest, we are overachieving, and that is a great thing. And we can get better, and we're gonna get better. That door is recycling, and it's only gonna keep going. But have unity, guys. Stick together. It's your boy, the ATX Sooner. And you know why we gotta stick together? Why we gotta have that unity? Because it's in our DNA. Bye.